There we are. We are recording. Right then, guys. So as I just explained to you anyway, after going to the event yesterday, there were some things that I thought would help everyone that we could go over and just really kind of clarify, just to kind of help you guys really understand what it is to have your own business online and how you use that platform to really kind of accelerate your business. Right then, so we're just going to jump straight into a screen share for now and get Thomas to press it close to the keyboard.
Longer arms, you mean?
Right then, guys, let me just make you guys small over there. So today I wanted to go through branding, social media, and you. So what is branding or a brand? So your brand is you and you are your brand. So when you're working online and you're using your fan pages and you're adding people onto your normal kind of Facebook page, you have to be your brand. People are going to be interested in you as a person and how you are developing over the course of kind of having your own online business. So it's really important to think about how you want people to perceive you. So although when you create your fan pages and stuff, we say, oh, you'll be great just kind of getting on posting motivational quotes and things like that. Yeah, that is great. However, people are looking for the person behind the quotes. So at some point, you are going to have to either like take selfies or take real life pictures, just so that, let me just quickly pop through and mute someone, just so that they know actually who they're interacting with and who they're going to start doing business with. That's the most important thing. I mean, you wouldn't want to go on to say, I don't know, New Look's website and all they've got are like pictures of models and stuff. You want to know who you're doing business with and what they're providing you. So that brings me around to kind of something myself and Josh Worth have spoke about in the past. As he's in marketing and I've studied marketing, the most effective marketing is that people believe people. Word of mouth is one of the most, if not the most, effective marketing you can use. So by doing kind of go lives and posting selfies and kind of really expressing how you feel, people are going to believe you more. So it's really important just to kind of be yourself. And they'll admire your courage to do something different and they'll want to do the same. Realistically, how many times have you had somebody say to you, oh, I wish I could do that, or you're so brave? Because I know that I used to get that all the time. So they're also going to be thinking, and Adam does this really well, when he does a go live, he'll say kind of how he's feeling about a subject, and then he'll also go on to say what he can do for you and how he can get you out of the situation you're in, or how he can just completely change the reality that you're experiencing right now. So as well as knowing about you, they're going to want to know what you can do for them, which is, again, it's only natural. You don't kind of go to purchase something without knowing what it's going to do for you. If you buy in, I don't know, ladies, some suck me in pants, you want to know that they're going to suck you right in. So you want to know exactly what the person or the company or the business is going to provide for you. So just remember all of this when you're posting on your fan page or on your personal page.
Yeah, I'd just like to add on that, Lily, like also what I try and do as well is if I'm doing something like you've just said, a post about something relating to me or my business or our businesses, then I always sort of put something along the lines of it wasn't always like this, and you know, to bring it back down to that person's level, like and I'll say something like I've been there before, you know, I was in that position, just so you're not sort of continuously speaking about yourself, because obviously the gap between you and then is a lot bigger than what it would be. So if you bring it back down to the level and say something along the lines of, you know, I've been there before, I used to be the person that looked at the clock all week at work, etc., etc. So yeah, I'd just like to add that, really, that try and bring it still back down to that person's level who you're wanting to engage with as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. And that's it. They're going to want to know where you've come from and how you got there and what you're doing now. So yeah, it's just important to kind of really connect with your audience, whether it's on your fan page or your personal page. Something I kind of was aware of but didn't really kind of think about before yesterday was that although everybody has a fan page, like Tony Robbins has a fan page, Grant Cardone will have a fan page, we all have fan pages. However, you'll see, and you know anyway, when you post on your fan page and when you post on your personal page, you get a lot more interaction on your personal page than you do your fan page. And it's the same for all these big top celebrities. They can have kind of 3 million followers and only get 800 likes, which isn't even kind of a drop, like a stone in a pond sort of thing. So as soon as you're ready to take that step and start posting on your personal page, for some of you it will take longer than others, but as soon as you're ready, it's in your best interest to do that as well, because then anyone you're adding that's joining your team will see that you are completely committed to your business. And as I said before, you are your brand and your brand is you. So wherever you are, you need to be promoting your brand and you need to be kind of showing the world who you are, really. So that brings me down to kind of what you need to do, which is kind of maximize your strengths, turn your weaknesses into strengths. So for me, one of my weaknesses was actually taking that step to post on my personal page because I was too concerned with what other people would think or how they would perceive me. So whatever it is that you need to focus on, whether it's ads, whether it's, I don't know, copywriting, whatever it is, make sure you're building yourself and you're growing your knowledge to kind of work on that. And then also you need to develop a mental toughness. So that's tune out life's BS and do your thing anyway. And again, this is one that was really difficult for me because I was so focused on, I don't know, not so much offending somebody else, but I didn't always have myself in mind first. And that was the main thing that stopped me from posting on my personal page about my business. But at some point you have to realise that you only get one life, and if you want to make a success of this business, then you need to kind of take control of that. And as it says there, just tune out life's BS and do your thing anyway. And once you start taking action, don't stop. The worst thing you can do is stop, because when you're going, you keep going. But when you stop, who knows when you'll start again. So as kind of me and Adam have said, you need to do all of this because people are buying into you, who you are now, because of what you've done. So always relate it back to kind of where you've come from, but show them kind of how you've grown as well throughout the journey that you're on. And I just wanted to kind of put it out there that it's not bragging, it's branding. So you're not bragging about kind of leaving your job, and you're not bragging that you started this online business. You're branding yourself as an entrepreneur, and you're showing people that they can do the same.
And to add to that as well, it's when someone says you're bragging or you're being arrogant or whatever, it's simply because they're jealous of what you have. Like if you, I don't know, you get the new iPhone X and you post it on social media, oh, loving the iPhone X, and someone goes, oh, stop bragging. It's because they don't have the iPhone X and they want it, but you've got it and they're jealous because of that. So just tune it out.
Right then, guys, so let's talk social media. So what does your social media fingerprint say about you? So something that many of you probably won't even realise, any post that you like or comment on will show to all your friends and followers. Literally anything. The amount of times I scroll through Facebook and it says, I don't know, Ali and Josh and Frankie have liked this post. And I'll look at it because I'm like, oh, what are these guys liking? So you guys need to bear in mind that if you want to kind of keep the integrity of your business and your brand, whatever that is and however you build and grow that if you talk about politics, religion, Trump, Brexit, feminism, anything that's slightly controversial or that somebody could have quite a different opinion on, you're actually polarizing yourself because you're losing a substantial amount of your market. If you had somebody on Facebook that's just joined your team and then you post something about Brexit and they have a completely different opinion, they could be like, oh, well, I don't agree with that. So they might not even get involved and join your team. So it's something to remember and something to be conscious of. As leaders, when you kind of get up and running anyway, we will have a quick look through your Facebook page to make sure there's nothing too controversial on there. And we will give you a little nudge if there is. But you need to just be aware that even things you like on Facebook will show to everybody that is your friend or a follower. And yeah, as it says, kind of everybody has a different opinion, so just be aware of that really, and be aware of the effect it can have on your brand, because you are your brand.
Just to add as well, Lily, like, let's just say, for example, if you bring a new member into Project Q1 and make friends on Facebook with that member, and they might see some of these things that Lily's mentioned, that you've done, you know, that could possibly lose them as a member. Just something as stupid as that, really. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And a lot of people, even when if you're new to Project Q1, or if you've been in a while, then you'll know that a lot of people from Project Q1, either wherever they are in the world, will add you on Facebook as well. And that's just because they want to connect, really, and speak to you. So that's just another reason to be mindful of these things, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So winning topics are neutral and positive. So yeah, that's just two things to kind of bear in mind, that if you remain neutral, nobody can kind of say that you've changed their mind or their opinion on something, or you can't really kind of affect your brand or your business in a negative way then. And obviously positive messages on Facebook are always received well, because there's so much negativity on social media anyway. So the more positive you are, the more people want to get involved with you, your business, your brand, because they'll want that positivity. It's like, I don't know, it's like a drug. They want more of it because they're like, oh, why are they so happy? Why are they so positive? How can I be like that? So yeah, winning topics are to be neutral and be positive. Right then, grow or die. So this just kind of brings me around to you guys constantly learning and constantly growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. Think of a plant. If it's not being watered and it's not growing, it is dying. It's losing its leaves and it's dying. So just below, there's the business life cycle diagram sort of thing. So it's the concept and the startup, and that's when you're growing. You've got your growth and maturity. And at your maturity, if you stop growing and you stop learning and you stop developing, you can start to decline. And from that decline, you can create a rebirth, where you kind of reconnect with the community, start reading, start learning again and start growing. But it's really important just to kind of, in that growth section, just keep growing, keep learning. The internet's ever changing anyway. So keep posting on your pages, keep posting on your fan pages, keep learning. And let's keep that kind of growth and maturity line going up and up and up for everyone.
I'd almost say try to never mature, because once your brand's matured, you almost become complacent with your position, and the only way to go from complacency is downwards. Really, once you get complacent, you can't suddenly fire back up the engines and go again. You have to have that kick up the arse, which is the decline. So, in my opinion, you never want to leave the growth stage.
Okay, and this is something that maybe isn't addressed enough with being kind of an entrepreneur and having your own business. But failure is okay, so long as you learn and grow from it. So Ryan says to me all the time, you don't know what you don't know. And it's as true as it is said there. If you don't know something, how are you going to know how to do it, or how are you going to know not to do it? So if you fail at something, it's just another way that you found that doesn't work, which is what Thomas Edison said. I've not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that it won't work. So I think that's really important in terms of not getting into a mindset or a headspace where you're focused on the negatives and you're like, oh, it doesn't work, or I can't do ads, or I can't do this. And don't really try and, like, some of you have got kind of uplines that have been really, really successful within Project Q1. And as much as it is important to look up to them, don't compare yourself to those people. We're all on different journeys within this community. We're all on different journeys within life. And you need to kind of focus on yourself and just learn and grow as much as you can. Failure is a good thing. It means that you're heading in the right direction and that you've just got a little bit more growth to do. So if something's not working, speak to somebody, mastermind with people, and just really learn how you can make it better.
You can only fail if you're trying at the end of the day. And if you're trying, that's all that matters.
Okay, and a few people have mentioned the word funk recently. And by this I mean, so if you're in a funk, which means kind of if you're feeling a little bit negative or a little bit down or not in the right headspace, don't be negative online. As soon as you post one negative thing on your Facebook or on your fan page where you're like, oh, I'm having a bad day today, people will be like, oh my God, their business isn't working, or it doesn't work, I can't do that, I'm not going to be an entrepreneur, I knew it wouldn't work, and people will automatically take that as a negative. So as soon as you start being negative online, that will affect your brand. So yeah, it's really important not to do that. And if you are kind of in a funk, make sure that you speak to your coach or your mentor, because the people that are above you have already been through all of this. As I've said kind of openly before, I had a kind of a month or 2 month period where I was just like, oh my God, after I left work, because I was just like, what am I going to do? And I couldn't get into a morning routine. My head wasn't in the right space. And you need to speak to the people that are above you. They've been there too, and they can offer you the best help, the best advice, and the best support. There's no point kind of speaking to people that are on the same level as you, or people that are a little bit kind of below you, just starting their business, just getting up and running, because they haven't been through it yet. They've got no idea how they can help you and support you and kind of grow you out of this situation. So it's really one of the most important things, I think, is that you take from this is, if you're in a funk, speak to the people above you, speak to your coach, speak to your mentor.
Yeah, I'll just add to that as well, Lilia. Some people may or may not have been around when David Caldecott did the mastermind. So obviously I've followed him on social media ever since, and I don't even know if it was the mastermind or just one of his videos on Facebook. And he said that at least every 2 weeks, once or twice, he gets in this situation where you just have one of those days, everything's going against you, and you think you can't do it, you can't be an entrepreneur anymore. And then you just sort of snap out of it and then get whatever it is back in your head and in your mind. And I'll probably go along with that sort of theory as well, that I've been there. We all get to that stage where we're looking for maybe the next new member, and we're wanting, we're looking at as Google Sheet all the time or whatever for a new member coming through, and you're thinking, when is it going to be? And then I think it's just part and parcel of being an entrepreneur. We all know that it's up and down and up, but the ups do far outweigh the downs, or else we wouldn't be here otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. And I think that's one of the most important things to remember is if you're in your day job, you're going to have bad days anyway. So it's the same thing almost. Like, as an entrepreneur, whether you're kind of doing it part-time whilst you're still at work or whether you're doing it full-time, you would have bad days regardless. So don't kind of focus on those bad days too much, and don't let them kind of dissolve your mindset or kind of everything you've built. Just identify them as a bad day, and you know what, start afresh tomorrow, or just sit there and do. There's like some meditations that I've shared with people where they're about smiling. So they get you to sit there and smile for like 5 minutes, and literally do that. Once you've smiled, you feel a lot better.
and as well, I was just saying, just if you're having one of those days, have a look in the file section in the group and pick a random mastermind from a Wednesday night or a Sunday, and whichever one it will be, that will definitely pick you up, I can guarantee. Listening to maybe someone's inspiring story, or someone who's found something new in the business and is absolutely buzzing to share it with everyone. One of those mastermind calls will pick you up in no time.
One of the things that was said yesterday at the event that we went to was that as an entrepreneur, out of the 365 days in the year, if you can manage to get 50 top quality days, then you're doing really well.
50 days where you're bringing in new people, you're making sales, and you're on top of the world. Would you trade the 9 to 5 grind for 50 great days? I know I would. So
yeah, and I think what Lily was saying, I think bad days in a 9 to 5 when you're working for someone is, everyone knows it's a bad day, and I've had those as well. But I think you just feel it more when you're an entrepreneur yourself, because it's like you're taking it yourself on your shoulders. Whereas you're working for a company, it's just generally a bad day, get me out of the office sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, Adam, that's why it's so important to connect with kind of your upline and your mentors and your coaches, because like I say, they've been through it as well, and they'll be able to support you through that. The last thing you want is to feel alone in that situation, or like you haven't got support. Everyone is here to support and kind of help you along the way. So if you've got kind of any problems or anything, you're more than welcome to go to people that are above you in terms of ranking, and they will be able to help you out with anything. So I think that is just one thing that I wanted to cover, so that everyone knows where they stand.
I think as well, negativity can play a massive part in growing as well. Because like when I first started, for instance, there was obviously we didn't have all this, and we had like loads of negativity on our pages all the time. And when you're around negativity, you grow past it, and sometimes it can work the opposite way and make you grow as a person. That's what I think. Anyway, it did for me.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you have to have traits of negativity to grow, don't you?
Yeah, I think you definitely need to like identify the negativity and kind of help you grow. I think no matter how positive you try and be, there'll be a moment where you're like, oh, or something upsets you. So there's always going to be something there. There's always going to be that trait or that thought or something that kind of crosses your mind. And as I said earlier, it's important to kind of recognize that and grow from it, and see how you can develop your business from that, or yourself from that. Right then, no excuses. So, no excuses. There's no growth in your comfort zone. So, we all know that obviously to join Project Q1, you stepped out of your comfort zone initially. But as I said previously, for me, posting on my personal page was a massive kind of step outside of my comfort zone. But I wasn't going to grow my business any further than what it was without doing that. So yeah, there's no growth in your comfort zone. You're just comfortable there. So it depends where you want to go as a person, with your brand, with your business, and how successful you want to be. But if you stay within that comfort zone, you just need to be aware that obviously in order to grow, you have to come out of it. And if you don't want to do something, this is just general life. If there's something you don't want to do, don't do it. This, again, is something I struggle with. I'm a bit of a yes person, or I used to be at least. I'm coming out of it now.
I'm really working hard on it. I really am.
But if someone says, do you want to go for dinner? Yes. Do you want to go to this party? Yes. Do you want to take the dog for a walk? Yeah, sure. I am a yes person, and you know what, most of the time I don't want to do it. And all it does is it kind of makes you sit there and think, oh God, I wish I didn't say yes to that, or I don't want to go out tonight. So the more decisive that you are, it's going to make you feel better. Like, as soon as you start realising and being true to yourself and being like, well, actually, no, I don't want to do that, or I can't do that, I haven't got the time, you'll feel loads better. And as it says here, an excuse is a lie that you tell yourself. So stop lying to yourself and just be true to yourself. That's what we're all here for, to build and grow as people. So yeah, for me, when I stopped caring about everyone else's opinions, you just feel this kind of like sense of relief, like kind of a whole weight lifted off your shoulders, because you're like, you know what, now I'm doing me. And if people don't like it, they don't have to be your friend. They don't have to follow you. They don't have to kind of interact with you. If they don't support your journey, then they shouldn't be on it anyway with you. So tell yourself, I can, I will, and I must. Any goals that you set or anything in life that you want to achieve, tell yourself that you can do it and that you will do it and that you must do it. As I said previously, kind of don't get bogged down by what people before you have done, what your upline have done. Tell yourself that you can do exactly the same as what they have, that you will do it, and that you will get out of your job, and that you must kind of achieve all these goals that you're setting. Because, sorry, Rich, your message totally threw me off then. Because otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. If you keep telling yourself you can't do things, you're never going to do them. If you're like, oh, but Adam has got such a big team, I can't do that, you're never going to do it. Like, tell yourself you can and you will. And every time me and Tom post an ad, we're like, this is the best ad. This is going to perform so well. This is the winning ad. And every time we're like, I don't know, sending love to the ads. So just kind of focus on the good, not the bad. And be determined and take action. The more determined you are to achieve your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them. And as I said previously, like, take action. You already have by joining this community, but continue to take action. Continue posting on your fan page, continue learning, continue kind of connecting with the community, continue turning up to masterminds. And before you know it, you'll be kind of quitting your job and on a beach somewhere, or spending more time with your family, or whatever it is that you're kind of looking to achieve. And once you decide that you will accomplish your goals, you will, because your mind is so focused on them, you're so driven by them. You've just got to keep going. The story that kind of comes to mind that everybody mentions is the story from Think and Grow Rich, the stopping 5 feet from gold. And you've just got to have that extra bit of determination to keep going. Every time you think, I can't do this, tell yourself 5 times that you can, and literally keep going, because you don't know when your dreams are literally just around the corner. And if you turn the opposite corner, then they're gone forever. So you've just got to keep on going and keep believing, and keep pushing yourself really to achieve everything that you want to. And this all needs to be kind of, as well, it's part of your brand, it's part of your growth, it's part of your journey. And document it. I've said before, kind of document over creating. Don't sit there trying to get the perfect picture for Facebook and copy what everyone else is doing with your laptop in a perfect position and, I don't know, your latte next to it. I think some of you might have seen my post a couple of weeks or months ago now, where I had like a bowl of Crunchy Nut cereal, my laptop, a book, and I was just like, I'm not the kind of person that eats fruit and oats for breakfast. I'm more of a Crunchy Nut kind of person. Be true to yourself, whatever it is that you like doing or that's part of who you are as a person. Just express that to people. They'll connect with that a lot more than me pretending that I eat oats and fruit for breakfast, because I definitely don't. So that's all that I had in terms of branding, social media, and you. Whatever platform you're using, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all of them and more. Some people use LinkedIn. all kinds of stuff. Whatever platform it is that you're using, make sure that you're spreading your message across them all, and you're letting people know what you're about, what you want to be perceived as, and what the journey that you're on, really. And people will connect with you a lot more than they will if you're just kind of telling them anything that kind of comes to mind, or you're trying to recreate other people's content. A lot of you do it really well now anyway. A lot of you kind of taken that step out of your comfort zone and started posting on your personal page. I know Camilla mentioned a couple of weeks ago that her secondary page was taken for a reason, and it was a sign to start posting on her normal personal page. But yeah, if you guys have got any questions or you need any help, make sure to kind of speak to your coaches and your mentors, because as I say, we've all been through it, so we can all all help you along the way. Right then, I need a drink. Any questions? Or anything to add, Rich, Adam, Josh?
Yeah, I think with, when you spoke about neutral topics only, I think it's actually okay to be like a little bit controversial, especially if you're relating it to why you, say, for example, don't agree with the 9-to-5 life. And to write stuff about that, excuse me, I think that's okay. It's like likely to cut through the amount of traffic that's running through Facebook, because building a positive brand is obviously really good and that's what you want to do. But that's also hard to be noticed if people are going through their news feed. Whereas if you have like a pretty out there headline or an out there post that's going to be like, make people stop. It doesn't have to be negative, but do you see what I mean? So like that post I did the other day about that was titled How I Got Scammed had like 5 times more engagement than pretty much every post I've ever done, because it was like a little bit controversial. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. But I think it depends on the controversial kind of subject. In terms of
sure, like don't go like relating it to crazy subjects, but if it's business related in terms of like why you disagree with working 40 hours a week for someone else or working 50 years for a bad retirement plan or something like that, then I think that's good to put a bit of controversy out there.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, just be mindful that kind of if the topic surrounds religion, politics, anything like that, you're going to half or quarter or kind of eighth your market by saying, I don't know, I support Trump. I mean, guys, put your hands up if you like Trump.
You're allowed to ask that.
Right now, yeah, it's 3 people. So 3-4 people. If I put that on my fan page, I've already lost 70% of my market. Do you see where I'm coming from? So just be mindful of kind of what you're posting and how it's going to be received by everyone. Yeah, so absolutely in terms of like a 9-to-5 grind or getting away from your day job or anything that's kind of related to your business, entrepreneurship, traveling, anything like that, go for it. But politics, religion, Brexit, I don't know, feminism partly as well, because as soon as you mention feminism, you probably lose your male market. Pretty much.
Not only do you lose your male market, you also lose part of your female market, because women that disagree with feminism slightly will instantly be like, oh, I don't want to be associated with a feminist because I don't want to have that label.
So just be aware.
Yeah, I think you can build an even stronger relationship if you take that controversial standpoint at the right moment and on the right topics, because people will rally around your message if they agree with it. So if you have like that, I don't like the 9-to-5, like you obviously not word it that way. When people read that, if they also agree, they'll remember you and they'll remember your voice. So that's sort of what I mean. If anyone has read Expert Secrets, what does he call that? There's like neutral and then crazy, and then in the middle is like the sweet spot of where.
Yeah.
What does he call that?
It's a scale, isn't it?
Yeah. He calls it. I'll just find this. I can't remember what. Like the optimal zone, the prolific zone, he calls it. So you have like mainstream, and then you have crazy, and in the middle of that is the prolific zone. So
yeah. So how that was described yesterday is in terms of if you say that you don't believe in kind of a God or anything like that, everybody that does is going to be like, oh my God, they don't believe. But if you say you believe in a certain religion, anyone that doesn't believe in that religion is going to be like, what the hell, they believe that religion? So you're kind of alienating yourself. Whereas if you say that you're kind of like spiritual, you're not really sure what you believe, but you believe in something, these people are like, oh, okay, she kind of believes. And these people are like, oh, well, you know, she's, I don't know, she doesn't believe in everything, but she believes in something. So you're in a neutral point where everyone kind of is like, oh, okay, I can kind of agree with that. Does that make sense? Got a few nods. Harriet, tell me what you're thinking. I can see your face screwing up. Oh, she froze. We lost her.
I can get quicker how to build brand.
Sorry, Josh.
I was like, should I jump in? Should I not? The only thing I think about that is after we had David, I don't know how to pronounce his surname, Caldecott. After we had his thing, he said, be your authentic self. And so if you're authentically, I'm personally not religious. I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious. And I wouldn't want to use words like I am religious or I'm not religious or anything like that. But say I was really religious and I was moving away from that in my posts, I'm not being authentically me, and I don't know whether or not that portrays a bad image. I don't know.
I think the way in which JT Fox said it yesterday, because he's a very polarizing person, like a lot of people dislike him because of how powerful he is. And he says that the reason that you slightly filter what you do on the internet is because that is the image that the world sees of you. Whereas once they've engaged with you and they've bought into you, then you can start showing like, oh yeah, I do actually feel a bit this way. Like JT Fox didn't tell anybody in the room that he is a fan of Trump and that he supports everything Trump says until everyone in the room had given their vote. So you almost want to go like, if you were religious, say you're Christian, you almost want to go, I believe in religion, I believe there's something on the other side and there's something up there, but don't say you're Christian because you might polarize Sikhs, you might polarize Muslims.
Yeah, we're not saying like don't be yourself. The thing we want you to be is yourself, but you need to be mindful of how many people you could potentially lose. Does that make sense? Like you're building a brand, you're building something that everybody wants to connect with.
Be vague almost, because if you're vague, then there's more surface area to your personality because people can question what you believe. They're like, oh, it says that they believe that there's something else there. So, oh, maybe they're Christian, maybe they're Muslim. I don't know. Let's find out more.
Engaged enough to involve
because if you're vague, you almost cause like intrigue, like, oh, what's this person about?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't
like,
be posting
as Josh said, in terms of kind of quitting your 9-to-5, anything that creates curiosity or controversy around that, go for it. But in terms of like things that you know are going to be really controversial, you're going to upset people, or that are big in the media that people either really strongly agree with or strongly disagree with, leave it out. Like, you don't want to kind of get into that argument or kind of have people not supporting you because of what you believe or only supporting you because of what you're kind of feeling and thinking at the time. Does that make sense?
I'll just stick my oar in there because I had first-hand experience of this when I first joined, and I quickly deleted everything that I had on there. I was one of these who marched for League Rigby and all that lot. I strongly believed in it and all that, but it was all over my page as well. So when I started and Nate said to me, right, you just lost yourself a trifecta, and I did, that was when I really started to look at my page and I went back and deleted literally everything. And that's why I started a blank canvas when I first started. No friends are on my page. And so I've got a first-hand of experience as well of actually losing sales because of it. So it definitely does affect even if you don't think it does. Because I used to say, well, it's my opinion. And I had a proper argument with Nate about it when I first started. This is like a year and a half ago. And me and Nate were at loggerheads because I believed it was my opinion. I had the right to sort of voice my opinion. But when I look back now, it definitely it had an impact on probably who was following me at the time from day one and sales. So yeah, it definitely has a massive impact.
I think to expand on what Richard said and go back to what Harriet said about David Caldicott, he said to be your authentic self and to show that to the world, but he also told everyone to start new Facebook pages and start afresh. So if you're going to be authentic, why would you delete your past?
Exactly. It's all, to be honest, you know yourself why you're in the business. Is the long term is your goals, your money, your financial freedom. So whatever it takes to do that, you'll do it. It's as simple as that. And for being authentic, I think maybe not for me. I deleted it for other reasons. I wanted to grow. I wanted to be successful, and that's the pure end of it for me.
I think as long as you're authentic to yourself, then that's
yourself. Yeah.
And again, it's to some degree. I mean, at the moment, Harriet, or like you say, of spiritual, do you post a whole load of spiritual stuff on your page, on your Facebook? So you don't need to do that to be authentic.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that make sense? Like, if you don't, like, if it's all there and you support kind of, I don't know, the Ku Klux Klan, like, get rid of it. But if you're not posting it at the moment, just don't post it. I'm not telling you that you can't believe for or against Brexit, but you don't need to post it on your page. You don't at the moment. So why would you do it now? That would affect your business.
That's exactly it. Just don't post it. You might think it, you might feel it, you might want to do it, but just don't do it. Don't post it. Simple as that.
I think the thing that might catch most of us out is on our personal pages rather than our fan pages.
Yeah.
You switch off of business mind and back into home mind, and you'll be scrolling and liking things. So that's definitely where myself, certainly, and probably a lot of other people will need to turn back on business mind. And if you see something like that, just think, oh, I agree with it or I don't agree with it, but I'm just going to keep on scrolling rather than doing anything about it.
Yeah, absolutely, Harriet. And that's the thing that I mentioned kind of throughout that presentation is, what is your social media fingerprint? What are everybody seeing that you've liked or you've commented on or you've been tagged in a post? What does that say about you as a person?
And I don't know if any of you guys have been the same, but I've added loads of people out Project Q1 recently, and out of all of the ones that I've added, I've probably unfollowed a lot of them in the last couple of weeks because of things that they've posted. Because it's been negative, or it's been, like you were saying, really political or stuff like that. So it's obviously having an impact.
So again, kind of like first hand for you.
Yeah, I've unfollowed. They don't want that negativity on my page.
Or, yeah, you've unfollowed or unliked people for whatever reason. So do you want to be the person that people do that to? There we go. Do you want your brand to be the one that people unfollow?
Exactly.
So that's...
And it will happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it is something you guys need to be aware of. In terms of the liking random posts, like the cat videos or the dog videos or whatever, I didn't really I knew that I see your guys' things that you like. It will say at the top, Harriet, Camelia and Adam liked this, and then it will show me the post. But I've never really connected how that could affect your business or you as a person. So I thought that was something really important to kind of share with you all.
I think one person to maybe add as a friend, if you're not already, or watch in Project Q1, who was building a brand, is Bobby from America. It was mentioned on the Mastermind last Sunday or one of the Sundays before. But yeah, he posts some really good stuff. If I wasn't in Project Q1 and I was following Bobby, he probably would hook me in, because the stuff he posts is really powerful. It's not sort of negative. I think he must have his missus or someone taking photos of him at work, and the photos are really cool as well. But yeah, he gets his message across. And if anyone's looking for like inspiration or ideas, add him as a friend and start following him on Facebook, Bobby Hook, because he puts some really good stuff out there.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously from the challenge kind of last week, back to the kind of take action and continue taking action. Everyone that kind of took that action and stepped outside their comfort zone and managed to post onto their personal page, don't let that go now. Like, keep going. You've started now, so if anybody has an opinion on what you're doing, it's already there. So just keep building and growing your brand and you as a person. And yeah, just if they don't like it, they'll unfollow you. That's the reality of it. Anyone got any questions? Oh, someone spoke.
Good presentation, that's what I thought, by the way.
Oh, cheers, Rich.
Who does all that? Is it you or Tom?
Actually, me. Can you?
Yeah, nice one. I love it. Yeah, it's really good. Wish I could play that.
Oh, mate, it's really easy. The website's called Prezi.
Yeah, it's brilliant, Lilybeth. Well done.
I'll have a mastermind with you about it, Rich.
I'll have to record it. You know that, don't you?
Before, guys, I was teaching Rich how to use the Photoshop thing that we use was called GIMP. Yeah, let's all get past that. But I was teaching Rich how to use GIMP, and he couldn't like press record on his computer, so he was like watching me do it through Zoom and had his phone up like this, recording it all. Oh, bless him. But yeah, we'll sort it out. You got there in the end, mate. You're a pro now.
Exactly.
I actually haven't. Who was speaking then?
I don't know if it was a
You said persistence.
No, yeah. Anyway, I've got a question for everybody here, actually. Like, going back to the authenticity stuff, how many of you actually, like, openly swear?
Swear?
Well,
Yeah,
like shit and all that.
Yeah, openly use profanity.
In general life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every third word.
Okay, and now,
cheers for that, Sean.
how many of you put swear words or connotations of swear words in your ads or onto posts on your fan page?
Not all.
Okay, there you go.
You can't put them on Facebook, the fan page and ads, because obviously it just gets banned, doesn't it? But
It's shut down as well now for swearing on them, or even writing the word.
yeah, you can't asterisk it either. It just blocks straight away. So
You can
obviously-
drop off
You that like, swear words or like funny words in yours.
Yeah. I had an ad live last week which had about 5 or 6 like bullshits, effing.
I think I saw that actually.
What, and it cleared through review, yeah.
Yeah, straight through, no problems.
Right, what friend have you got in Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Do that?
But yeah, again, just to kind of come back to that in terms of there are ways you can get around it. You can do b.s, f, comma, in. Like, there are ways you can get around it, but what I think Tom was trying to get at as well is if you're going to be authentic, you don't swear on your Facebook. So are you being your authentic self if you do that in person? So again, it's kind of, you put out an image of who you want to be or who you think people want you to be on social media. So it's important to kind of try and like team them together. So yeah, don't kind of say every swear word that there is in the dictionary, but kind of be yourself as much as you can, as well as trying to cater for the people that you want to attract. Go for it.
I'd just be really careful with, obviously it's good that your ad got cleared through, but I've read stories and listened to podcasts where people have had like really good ads running for like 4 or 5 months. And then because of one word, Facebook will then re-review it. And like they've had ads taken down that are like achieve a lean, sexy body. And because it has the word sexy in, as soon as it gains enough traction and more people have eyeballs on it, Facebook then notice it more. So I don't know, man.
Absolutely. We're not saying go out there and put all swear words in your ads. It was more kind of who are you online and who are you offline.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can see,
we're here for the business. We're here for the end goal. We're not here to plaster our lives on social media. So
yeah,
you have to take some things off, take some things off.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Rich said, he had to do kind of a clear out on Facebook and get rid of things that he supported previously. And that doesn't change whether he supports them or not, but it changes what people see and how they perceive him.
Rich, did you start a whole new Facebook, or did you just delete everybody off yours?
To be honest, it's that long ago. I think what I did when I set up my fan page, because I did everything on my personal page at first. That's why, like, now I still post everything on my personal page and share it to my fan page. I always have done. But what I did when I set my fan page up, I never added any friends. There was no friends of like that I know of from anywhere around the area who I had on my Facebook. I literally started everything like Project Q1, America, you know, friends I had from the previous company and stuff like that. There was no friends, and I still haven't got actually many friends, like personal friends, on my Facebook, just for that reason, because I literally started my personal page from scratch. I deleted all the like things that I was following. I mean, I had to go back a long way. Only last year I found something that I was scrolling through. But I think nobody now would come in that would have to scroll through all that. It's over a year's worth of scrolling, so they just wouldn't be able to find it now. But there was things on there still that I thought, but you've got to go back a long, long way to find anything on me now. Because I was stung for it, to be fair. From there, I did get, you know, and I lost the trifecta, so it does affect it. And it's a business after all.
Sorry, Rich. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, Camilla, you tried to set up a new Facebook, and I know Mary did as well. It's just really like complicated with the business manager and stuff. So I'd recommend, if you want to do that, it's probably easy to just delete people off your old one and sort of purge it that way, because Facebook doesn't like you doing it. Do you know what I mean? It just seems a bit... When David said that, I don't know whether he knew how hard it actually is to get another personal Facebook account like legitimized. I can see you shaking your head, Camilla, so it's a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, it really, really was a nightmare. I couldn't start a Facebook. I tried probably about 7 or 8 different Facebooks and it wouldn't let me do it. And then I eventually managed to be able to create my second one. And I had to just not use it at home. It had to be a different IP address every time I logged into it. And then after maybe about 2 weeks, I was able to log in at home. And then all of a sudden, it just deleted it and then reinstated it. So, I mean, it seems to be fine, and I am still using it because I think I've got people sort of that have liked that page. So I'm like, well, as long as it's active, I may as well keep using it. But now it is annoying because I'm like having to log between my personal to my other personal to my fan page. So it does get really confusing. And now I'm at a place where I'm posting stuff on my personal page anyway. Yeah. So
I think with that as well, I think when you've got a profile that's existed for so long, like say, for example, my Facebook, I don't know how long it's been in existence, but it's so long that obviously gives you a bit more history with it. If you've got a profile that's been started up, you're messaging prospects and your profile's only been in existence 3 months or something like that, it's just going to seem a bit odd, I think. So I think keeping the history there of all your stuff, even if it goes back miles, when you clear it off, I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
I don't think Facebook actually like multiple accounts. I just don't think they like it. I think they think, well, why is this?
You're not allowed.
Yeah, you're only allowed one. That's what my issue was saying. Yeah, it was saying that I'm trying to impersonate myself.
It's because of the facial recognition algorithm.
Yeah,
I mean, it did give me the confidence to do something on a personal page.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it was just that few months of doing stuff on that personal page, and then something kind of twigged or clicked, and I was like, well, whatever. You know, it was public, so anyone could have seen it. And then I was just like, well, do you know what? So what? I'll just make my personal page. public, and if people want to see it, and if they've got a problem with it, whatever, like this is me, I'm proud of it. But it kind of it was that sort of, I think it was that kind of bridge between it just being my fan page and then sort of then going on to my personal page, so it helped in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. And if anyone's kind of, I don't know, if you're worried about the reception that I don't know, posts about your business will get on your personal page, then in my opinion, anyone that doesn't support you, again, shouldn't be on the journey with you. If they're not supporting your business and you growing and on this new adventure, then they shouldn't even be there in the first place. I spent literally about 4 days after David said about kind of deleting old pictures that you don't like and unfriending and tagging and all this kind of stuff. I spent literally 4 days. I deleted, I think, between 400 and 500 friends off Facebook. I untagged all the old drunk photos from 6 years ago that were literally horrendous. But every time they come up saying, you have a memory, I wanted to throw my phone somewhere. I made sure I untagged or deleted all of those. And I'd done the same through Instagram. I kind of unfollowed anyone that I see pop up, and I'm like, oh God. I unfollowed all of them because as well, you don't need that negativity popping into your day. You don't need that kind of mindset where you're like, oh, there's enough going on in everyone's lives then to have kind of negative situations arise as well. So yeah, it can be time consuming. I think my profile has been active since between like 2008 and 2009. So it was a lot of stuff to get through. But once you do it, it's definitely worth it. And you a little bit with the fear, like you won't be scared to post stuff about your business on your page anymore. You won't be scared to do kind of like go lives and things like that. Everything will just be that little bit easier. So
and plus, like you said though, Lilybeth, you get that much more globally you get that much more interaction if it's on your personal page. Like say you do a go live on your fan page and you might get 2 people, 3 people watch it. If you do it on your personal page, you can treble that, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely, Rich.
I would say, I've always done it only because I didn't really know at the time when we first started, like year and a half ago, that to build a fan page, we didn't even get told to build a fan page. It was just, get out there, get on Facebook, and that's what I've always done. And what I do, I actually share to me fan page, so it's always saying, Richard Barker shared Richard Thomas Marketing photo or whatever, and I think it just works better. You get more interaction.
Yeah, definitely, Rich. Sorry, mate. Definitely. And you'll see kind of, I mean, even if you guys take a look at your own fan page now and go and take a look at your most recent post on your personal page, I know one of mine's got kind of 50 or above likes on my personal page, and on my fan page has probably got like between 10 and 20. So you can see there's already kind of like a 50% increase on kind of the interaction on your personal page to your fan page. So as soon as you can make that transition, as soon as you're comfortable doing so, whether you're still in work and you're holding off until you get out of work or whatever it might be, as soon as you're ready to take that step, take it. Don't keep waiting around. Right then, guys, we've gone past the hour. Any questions from anyone or any kind of queries or anything at all?
I missed the beginning because I thought it was Thursday today.
You'll have to catch a replay sweep.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I don't have any questions for that reason because I literally.
Maybe it was only the clocks that went forward, not the day.
So we had our accountability thing, and she missed that. You almost missed that as well with the clocks.
Oh yeah, sorry, I've been so scatty recently, haven't I? I'm not sure what's going on. I think the moon's in a different place.
It's because you went to Portugal. Still in that holiday mindset.
I think I am, yeah.
Well, for any of you that are planet orientated, Mercury is well and truly in retrograde, so it's screwing women up. So
that's my reason then.
Yeah, that explains it all. You've got about a week and a half left of it.
Oh darn.
Oh darn.
Right, ladies and gents, if there's nothing else, we can get going.
I just want to say one thing as well. I just want to welcome Charlotte to the webinar tonight. It's her first time joining, so hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
We're a crazy bunch, but you'll get used to us.
Or just pretend that you're used to us.
Yeah, either way.
Smile and wave.
Anything else, guys? No? Right then, ladies and gents, I'll let you go for this evening. Anyone that missed the 30-day call because of me, it will be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so I'll see you there. Otherwise, have a nice Easter, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.